Worried about your F1 visa interview? I get it. Nerves can get in the way of this crucial but final step of your entire study abroad process. While many people think that the F1 visa interview is all about having fully funded offers, a perfect paperwork, or rehearsing answers, but that is not the case. Think about it. Why is it that, unlike interviews like a job interview, the decision is made days after accessing your document and your performance at the interview? But in an F1 visa interview, the decision is made right on the spot, because what matters most is what you say and how you say it. In today's video, I will be giving you the exact strategies of how to build a rock solid confidence so that you can walk into your interview feeling sure, prepared, and clear, and you can walk out with your F1 visa interview approved. Let's dive right into it. The tips and strategies that I'll be talking about today can be divided into the things that you should do before the interviews and things that you should do during the interview. One of the crucial things that you need to do before you go for your F1 visa interview is to prepare. In other words, get as much mock interviews as possible. I have a very unpopular opinion about mock interviews, which is that you should never do a mock interview until you've actually prepared for your possible questions and answers that you can give to different scenarios. There are multiple things that happen when you do a mock interview unprepared. One, you under-deliver. Two, that makes the person who is interviewing you to give a discouraging comment, which can, cast your entire perspective of how your interview would go on the actual date, which might not be so. So before you go ahead to do a mock interview, even though it is not the actual F1 visa interview, please take it all serious by actually listening to different people's mock interview to get an idea of the different questions that can come up and ways you can answer them in different scenarios. Then you want to carefully write down what your own answers can be to those different questions. I usually advise that you actually take a pen and a paper to write down what your answers can be, because this helps you to connect more deeply with your mind and bring out the answers from within. Then you can then pitch your interview and listen for positive comments and also constructive feedbacks that can help you along the way. While you might not be able to get as much mock interview done in all of the popular WhatsApp groups that does all of this mock interview, I think it is very, very important that you do mock interviews with people that you are also close to, people who know your story, who believe in your story, and who are able to be smart enough to also give constructive feedback without sugarcoating things for you. So as much as you are doing that, also make sure that you are watching videos like this online and you are actually also honest with yourself to prepare for your F1 visa interview. In all of this, make sure that you are sieving people's opinion, because what matters most at the end of the day is the decision of the visa officer, not even the person who is doing the mock interview for you. Make sure that you believe in yourself so much more that even when you are getting these feedbacks, you are improving on them and you do not let any feedback to weigh you down. At the end of it, confidence isn't about faking it. It's about believing in your own self and believing in your story. If you do not believe in your story, there's no way you can convince the visa officer to believe in your story. Another important thing that you should do or avoid doing to make sure that you have the right confidence level before going for your F1 visa interview is to avoid preconceived notions about visa interviewers or visa officers. I see a lot of things like this with people describing a particular visa officer being harsh or being having more tendencies to reject people. But is this always the case? This reminds me of a very popular scenario during my undergraduate degree. During my undergraduate degree at the University of Ibadan, there's this popular chemistry course that people who are majoring in sciences have to take. It is called Chemistry 157. If you're familiar about what I'm talking about, please drop a comment below. So Chemistry 157 is a chemistry course that is very notorious for being very hard. And many people, before they actually resume school, have heard the gruesome story of how hard and how complicated this course is. Fortunately for me, I never heard about this course, and because of that, I went into the course without having a preconceived notion about how hard the course is. And at the end of the day, I finished this course with an A. Was the course hard? Yes. Did I allow negative comments about the course to deter me from preparing for that course? No. So this is likewise the case with having preconceived notions about visa officers, because it doesn't help you in any way, especially if that is the visa officer who at the end of the day is going to interview you. You just find yourself in front of them jittering for no valid reason. just because some random person online said this and this about them. And most likely that random person doesn't have the same scenario and the same story as you do. So why limit your chances of getting your own visa approved based on somebody else's experience? Another important tip to maintain a good confidence level for your F1 visa interview is actually to arrive early. See, this strategy can never be overflogged. Getting early to your visa appointment does a number of good for you. One, the temperature is better at that time of the day. Two, you don't have to stay in the queue for as long as you would have if you got there late. And when you actually attended to, even if your appointment says 11 a.m., it's dependent on how early you got there and the number of people who are already in the queue ahead of. So do yourself a lot of good by getting to the venue early so that you can be more relaxed and more comfortable when you finally meet the visa officer. And while arriving early can give you an ample of time before your interview, you don't want to misuse this time to gist around and drain all your energy and have nothing to give to the visa officer. You can engage in meaningful conversations that get you into a relaxed tone and get you comfortable. But you don't want to overdo it by chatting and getting into lousy conversations, because you can just drain all your energy and have nothing to give to the visa officer. So please, please, and please make sure you arrive early. If possible, sleep as close as you can to the visa appointment venue, about 5 minutes away from where that place is, so that you can get there right on time and in the best mood that you can. Something that is also very crucial to make sure that you are staying confident and comfortable for your entire interview process is how you dress. It is no naysaying that how you dress affects how you feel and also how people feel about you. But that doesn't mean that you should put on something that makes you so gagged up and uncomfortable. Make sure you are dressed smart, look like a student, like how a scholar would look. Look like that, and make sure that you are not using that day to experiment a new style that you have not yet gotten comfortable with. So dress nicely, dress comfortably, smell nice, but don't overdo it. You don't need to wear a suit, especially considering the temperature of that day. But make sure you are looking nice and presentable and you are also comfortable. You're going to stand for long hours, you're going to move along the queues. That's probably not the day to wear high heels. The decision is totally up to you, but if you know that you can bear that, please do it. But my advice is to wear something as comfortable, as smart as possible, so that you can feel confident in yourself and others can also feel that way about you. Even before you enter, people can be giving you compliments like saying you look good, you smell nice. That is adding some dopamine to your system and you're already like, okay, let's go into that interview and go and crush it. And that is exactly what we want to feel like for our F1 visa interview. Another important thing that can help you to stay confident during your interview, this is kind of like in between before your interview and during your interview. It is just right before you step in for your interview, which is avoid letter watching. Don't be one of those people who are just checking people coming out. Like, is it white paper? Is it pink paper? Is it blue paper? Really, focus on why you are there and don't let the number of pink and blue papers make you feel less confident about yourself or make you get into a very chatty tone. Focus on why you are there and believe in your own story. Instead of using time to letter watch and see whether people are coming out with white and pink papers, what if you take that time to, remind yourself of the answers you have for different scenarios, not get tensed up, but remind yourself about the answers you have, pray, get yourself confident about yourself, remind yourself why you are here, remind yourself of how much effort you've put into this process till this point, and that you are going to take this last step and you're going to conquer it as well. So please stop letter watching. Focus on why you are there for that interview. And I'm very confident that you're going to ace this interview as much as you have done for every step along the way for this journey. All right, so now we are into the visa interview. We are now in front of a visa officer. And this is the most important moment in all of this preparation from what we've been doing before and what we're going to do right now. Right now is all that matters. Forget all your fears. Forget all the imperfect things about your story. Just focus on this moment. No matter how confident you are, the first 5 seconds can feel a bit nerve-wracking, but I want you to take a deep breath, smile, and remind yourself again about why you are there and why you are so worth this entire visa approval. So one thing that I think that you should take into mind is that you should make sure that you are conversational. You are not too rigid and you are not talking too much. Don't give one word answer. For example, if you are asked, what are you currently doing or where do you work? Don't say bank. So like give an answer that makes you interesting. For example, you can say I work in so bank doing this role to do, and just give a little description of what your job function is. But don't stress out the visa officer by just saying bank. Then they have to ask you which bank, what are you doing there? So like, make your answers interesting, concise, honest, but not over the place, and also not just one word. So get comfortable. Remember that the visa officer is just an individual like you, and they're just trying to confirm three major things which I talked about in our earlier video, which is to make sure that you're a genuine student, you have the financial capacity to complete your education, and also you have intentions of returning back to your own country after your degree is done. So having all of this in mind and knowing that you meet all of these criteria, so take a deep breath once again and answer them confidently. And if they ask you for like follow-up questions, if you don't understand what they said, you can ask for like, oh, if they could rephrase the question or repeat the question. But you want to make sure you're not overflogging that by saying pardon, pardon, pardon all the time. Just try to make sure you are getting yourself familiar with how Americans talk. You can watch videos like American videos without subtitles before your interview. If you can try to decode what they are saying, it's not hard to hear. You just have to listen carefully. And once you are in there, trust yourself to ace it. Make sure that you are giving yourself grace, you are not rushing your answers, and you are answering confident. Another thing you want to make sure that you're not doing is just, bringing out documents without being asked. It looks as if you're trying to hide something and you feel like the only way to cover it by showing that document. Make sure that if you are not hacked for a particular document, you are not presenting it. Another thing that can help you is to make sure that your documents are actually organized. Instead of buying a file that has just one slot, you can buy the files that have multiple slots and tag it. Oh, these are financial documents, these are admission documents, these are service fee, visa fee, DS-160, and all of those things documents. So make sure that you have all of that properly arranged so that when they ask you for a particular document, you know exactly where to go and not have to search through all your documents before you find it. All right, if you found value in this video, it's a very good time for you to like, not just like, subscribe to this channel, because a lot more is coming. A lot more helpful tips for your entire, not just the visa interview, but what to do after your visa interview is already approved, how to get ready for the United States, and all of those good stuff. Thank you so much for the support on my last video. Was mind blowing for me. I'm just this girl who has the passion to share these tips, and I'm really grateful that you guys found it useful. Please make sure you subscribe and not just watch. Subscribe, like, engage, ask questions. Let us comment sections. Let us talk more about things that can get us prepared for the visa interview process. And I hope that your dream of studying in the United States or any other Western country comes to pass. I appreciate your support on this channel, and I look forward to building a bigger community with you on here. See you in my next video. Bye.